Project Discovery is exactly that, a discovery. Already Digicel has over 800 telecommunication towers nationwide, but under their Project Discovery, a further 300 towers have been constructed in some of the most remote rural areas in Papua New Guinea. With such partners as the World Bank, offering financial support under their Rural Communications Project, and local politicians using their development funds to ensure their constituents have access to the mobile phone service. Digicel now brings its coverage in PNG to over 90%, which is quite unique in a land once described by the tower construction crews as the toughest place in the world to build. Some of the towers are so remote they cater to what seems like a handful of families and phone users scattered throughout the jungles and mountainous terrain. Others give service to small communities and villages, down waterways not often traveled. It offers for the first time the opportunity to a tribal people to communicate outside their local area by using mobile phones and access to the internet. No longer are PNG's villages and communities living in isolation.
Digicel have committed to over 200 staff in security, logistics, administration, maintenance, IT specialists, negotiators, security professionals and telecommunication experts. We've engaged the services of construction companies and employed hundreds of people at tower sites throughout the country. This has been a 9-month project with significant investment from Digicel to ensure that the most rural areas of PNG receive the most up-to-date communication services provided to them by Digicel.
To do this, we need to have procedures and system in place for determining the placement of towers. This comes from the satellite imagery and mapping of household information. This data is used by the radio planner, determining the population per site covered, and transmission planner ensures connectivity is achieved for each site to the main network.
A site-by-site analysis must be undertaken. That means people on ground, site evaluation are done, a transmission plan and tower heights are decided upon, including the type of power, number of villages covered, and the plan to install. Landowners for the tower sites have to be identified, and a MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, signed for the use of land, and rental payments must be organized.
It's not an easy task working with many landowners with their potential problems. In some cases, as many as 4 clans lay claim to the land. So working with the lands department, the local councillor, community leaders and the district administrator all aids us in determining who the rightful landowners are, so the correct agreements are in place.
All this information makes up the site's acquisition report, which forms the deciding factor for commencement of construction. If all agreed, a notice to proceed is issued and the construction process begins.
Ericsson is a leader in communications technology and services and is one of the largest project management companies in the world, working in over 180 countries. Here in PNG, we're with Digicel in action in the War Room, the central hub for the organization of the construction of towers. There are representatives from the various construction companies and telecommunication experts within the room.
And Digicel staff who are here to maintain the relationship with our landowners and coordinate our teams during and after the construction phase.
Towers are shipped in from Malaysia to Port Moresby and Lae Wharfs. There, they are unpacked, checked and repacked with the telecommunications equipment added. A Digicel team deal with the logistics and organize to have the equipment delivered to the individual tower sites. Local labor from nearby villages and communities are used, first to clear the sites for the tower and chopper landing, then as security for the equipment and assisting in the building of the tower, working alongside the skilled construction crews. At the project's peak, 14 construction companies were contracted and had 115 teams in the field at the one time. Given the terrain and remoteness of the sites, some are accessible by road, but many tower sites could only be reached by helicopter, meaning all the transmission gear, the dismantled tower, even the fence along with construction crews had to be flown in, meaning 15 to 20 airlifts were needed for the one tower. Makeshift huts are built to house the crews with construction time generally between 15 days to 2 months, depending on the site's location. 2G transmitters are installed on towers, as it gives better penetration of the network through the jungle. Solar panels are the main source of power for the towers, with a planned secondary power source being generators, and even wind turbines are being considered. For phone users in many remote areas, electricity or lack of is a major issue when wanting to charge mobile phones.
So every small person and big person, they all have phones, but they all stay nothing, no charging place, no power, no solar panel, no generators, no anything. Nothing at all.
To solve the issue, Digicel has set up solar power recharge stations for each of the towers, making it a gift to the community so residents can charge their mobile phones. In some cases, the villagers have built a hut to house the recharge station.
So on our place one time. So we come maybe charge point so no payment plan. Free charge.
We can make a phone call in the house or in the night in the mosquito net. We sleep and talk with our friends out. We can talk out in the town.
When they come and build the tower, now we are using mobile phones.
Okay, the benefit for the tower is people in the previous time when the tower was not here, people was very struggle for communicate with the people outside of this area, but currently it's flexible.
I mean, all communities, they have phones. We make calls when network come on, we make calls.
Communication is essential, not only to keep in touch with family and friends, but with people movement, business, trade, both in local produce of Sego to ordering supplies for the village trade stores. It helps improve government services and deal with health emergencies. Even guest houses can now communicate with potential visitors, and helps the local crocodile farmer to run his business more effectively.
We ring them there, get there, a date, and then we travel. So when we get there, we don't waste time.
To ensure the service continues, security for the towers is high on the agenda. A Guardian scheme employs up to 4 local people to tend to the tower. Guardians help in upkeep of sites. Each are given phones to report to the head office if there are any issues, be it damage, fuel shortage, any violence associated with the tower, or theft of equipment.
All boiling wanda mi siliblo outside na. Orasulum by kam na hands up mipla na all silim solar plant solar all paramiko. Yeah, night. Gan holim gan nakam. Now all mipla now.
Solar panels go missing, fences pulled down, and in some cases equipment burnt. Generally, it may relate back to landowner issues and rental payments. Police are first called in to investigate. Then Digicel negotiators go back in to sit down with all partners concerned to solve any issues. In Bougainville alone, 6 tower sites were vandalized. However, all have been rebuilt after successful negotiations.
The NOC room at Digicel's head office monitors all tower activities and the many trunk sites throughout the country. If there is a problem with a tower, it will either be a transmission or power issue.
We have a monitoring system that will alert us if a tower goes offline. We have a team that will check remotely and identify the issue. If needed, we will send out our field engineers to the site to restore it.
Throughout the country, there are engineers and maintenance contractors in place who physically inspect the towers on a regular basis as part of maintenance procedure. In these remote areas, Digicel has to get the phones to potential users. With the variety of phones, tablets and flex cards at Digicel, a range of products is selected. Numerous sales teams load up from central distribution centers and travel outside to the remote rural places of PNG. Their purpose is to create awareness, to deliver, train and sell the Digicel product range. To make the Digicel FlexCard phone credit available to all, the sales team set up a network of Digicel resellers, thus offering opportunities for local people to create a business for themselves and at the same time ensuring phone users have access to the credits.
In marketing, our role is to educate and create awareness on Digicel's products and services and ongoing promotions.
In the remote areas, it is difficult to reach people through normal media, so roadshows are organized in the main centers. Local youth are employed and trained to assist the marketing team in promoting the Digicel range of products and services.
Now the Ambassador program is soon to begin. This will give us vital information that will assist us in designing future marketing strategies.
With the project Discovery nearing conclusion, Digicel CEO John Mangos and project manager Michael Townsley head out on a fact-finding mission to the Highlands and the Pacific region. Visiting tower sites and speaking with employees, locals, contractors and many phone users.
Talk with Roger and we'll sort everything tomorrow.
Okay.
We get everything back on air and then you can sell your goods.
Okay.
So we've checked about 4 or 5 towers today. Some have been vandalised already. Others are very, very well looked after. And we can see a lot of people in the community now getting access to communications.
So all the services are available that you'd expect to find in the bigger cities, but we need to look at that and fine-tune it and see how we can specifically tailor products that may suit the more rural people, the more their communities, whether it's bundles, voice bundles, data bundles.
As many of the towers are powered by solar power, they are greatly affected by the region's wet season. Raining weeks on end means the tower goes down and communication stops.
The sites even we were there were starting to come back online as the batteries are getting charged. We can see when they're off air. We're putting another plan in place of how we'll actually send generators to some of these sites to start recharging them and give them that kickstart they need. So a lot of learnings I think out of today in terms of how we actually approach the market, how we actually develop our products for it. Power is just a critical thing out there, not just for phones but for everything. So if we can sort of do our part in that, I think we'll see a lot more uptake and a lot more communications.
The towers are bringing a positive energy to the region. People want the change, they want the access to modern telecommunications. With phone numbers exchanged, notes taken, Digicel personnel can action any areas of concern to ensure telecommunications continue throughout Papua New Guinea.
With construction phase complete for Project Discovery, the business of maintaining the tower operation and security matches the need to utilize their operation by expanding the Digicel usage and the services offered. This will ultimately include TV access through Digicel Play TV, just recently established. The rural areas are a unique market, so strategies and products are being decided upon accordingly. Phase 2 of the project plan is to build a further 100 telecommunications towers, giving close to complete coverage throughout the country of Papua New Guinea.